Welcome back to the Big Lad podcast. Today, we're diving into something that has the potential to completely shift how you approach your goals, your relationship, your career, and honestly, your entire life. This episode is called The Power of Doing Hard Things, How Discomfort Leads to Growth. Now I know, doing hard things doesn't sound sexy. It doesn't sell books the way life hacks and manifestation do, but it works. And if you want to grow, if you want to build something real, something that lasts, whether that's a business, a stronger mindset, a better body, or just more confidence in yourself, you have to be willing to lean into discomfort. So wherever you're listening today, in the gym, on a walk, commuting to work, I appreciate you. Now let's go deep on this one. You might want to take some notes. Let's talk about the idea that's at the core of this episode. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort. And here's the thing most people don't realise. Our brains are wired to avoid discomfort. From an evolutionary standpoint, discomfort meant danger, so we avoid it. We seek comfort, ease, and convenience. But growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in the moment when you want to quit, but don't. In the days when it's hard to show up, but you do it anyway. Let me give you a quote from Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That's not just philosophy, that's truth. The challenge isn't in the way, the challenge is the way. Think about the gym. You grow your muscles by putting them under stress. The resistance is what creates the strength, and life works the same way. The problem is, we've built our lives to avoid that resistance. We have apps that deliver food to our door. We don't have to talk to anyone if we don't want to. We avoid difficult conversations. We outsource discomfort. And as a result, we're softer than ever. I want to ask you something and really think about this. When was the last time you willingly chose something uncomfortable? When was the last time you pushed yourself just to see what you were made of? This isn't about suffering for no reason. It's about choosing your discomfort, because life is going to be hard either way. The question is, are you doing hard things by design, or are you suffering from the consequence of inaction? And think about how you feel after doing something difficult. How good that post-workout feeling is, or that peace that comes after you finally had the difficult conversation. That's your brain rewarding you for growth. Here's a stat to keep in mind. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who regularly embrace challenges and see discomfort as a catalyst for development experience significantly greater long-term satisfaction and lower anxiety levels. Discomfort not only leads to growth, it leads to fulfillment. Here's where it gets real, because avoiding discomfort doesn't just make you feel good in the short term, it costs you in the long term. Avoiding discomfort kills potential. It creates regret. It keeps you small. Let me give you a stat. According to a study from Cornell University, the number one regret people have at the end of their lives is not taking more risks, not doing the things that they knew deep down they wanted to do. Why didn't they do them? Because they were hard, because they were uncomfortable, because they involved uncertainty, failure, maybe even judgment from others. Let me ask you, what are you avoiding right now? What decision, what conversation, what leap are you putting off because it feels hard? I'm going to share another quote from Tim Ferriss, best-selling author and podcast host. A person's success in life can usually be measured by the number of uncomfortable conversations he or she is willing to have. This applies everywhere: business, love, health, and personal growth. The version of you that you dream about becoming, they're already doing it. They're already doing the thing you're avoiding. So why not start now? Let's be honest, most of us spend our lives stuck in the same loop of someday. Someday I'll start that business. Someday I'll get in shape. Someday I'll speak up. But someday is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid hard things today. Think about the life you want 5 years from now. Now imagine who you'll be if you keep avoiding discomfort for the next 5 years. Which version of you do you want to become? Let's flip this. Let's talk about what you actually get when you lean into doing hard things. Resilience. Every time you do something hard, you build a little more emotional muscle. It doesn't mean things getting easier, it means you're getting stronger. Self-respect. When you keep promises to yourself, even small ones, you prove to your brain your word means something. You become someone you trust. Momentum. Action breeds action. You do one hard thing and suddenly the next one doesn't seem so impossible. Discipline leads to more discipline. Confidence. Real confidence doesn't come from telling yourself you're great. It comes from evidence. From doing the thing you thought you couldn't do and surviving it. And then leadership. People follow those who lead by example. When you consistently do the hard thing, others notice. You inspire just by being you. Now let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was facing burnout. I was stuck in a job that looked good on paper, but felt meaningless. I was ready to leave, and then lockdown hit. So I stayed for financial security. But day by day, it wore me down. I had this gnawing voice inside me telling me that I was meant for more. But stepping away, that was daunting. The unknown, was I ready for the move? It kept me stuck. Eventually, I made the decision to move. I told myself that I wanted to leave, and once the lockdowns were up, that I would make the move. And it was nearly 6 months since the last lockdown ended. What was I waiting for? The cost of inaction was that I was miserable, and I didn't look forward to work every single day. So I went on the job website and I applied. And what do you know? 2 interviews straight off the bat. And I got offered both jobs. I made the move, and since, I've had 3 promotions in less than 3 years. Doing the hard thing then opened the door to the most fulfilling chapter of my life. And that's what happens when you choose growth over fear. You might be fired up now, but you might also be thinking, where do I start? So here's 5 practical ways to start doing the hard things right now. Number 1, set a small goal, but an uncomfortable goal. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's going to the gym 3 times a week. Pick something you know that will stretch you, but start small and start where you are. Number 2, embrace cold exposure. This isn't just trendy. Cold showers or ice baths teach your body how to stay calm under pressure. They build grit, and they force you to choose discomfort. Number 3, have the hard conversation. Whether it's setting a boundary, asking for what you need, or apologising. That conversation you're avoiding, that's your next growth opportunity. Speak truth, speak it kindly, but speak it. Number 4, commit to something publicly. Tell a friend or post on social media about something you're going to do. Make it real. Accountability works. And number 5, track your wins. Keep a log of every hard thing you do. You'll be amazed at the momentum you build. Journaling your discomfort moments turns struggle into data. Want a bonus one? Practice saying no. Say no to things that drain you. Say no to what no longer fits. Saying no is hard, but it's necessary. I want to bring in some wisdom from the Stoics again. Epictetus said, difficulties show men what they are. Think about that. It's not success, not comfort, not praise that reveals who you are. It's the struggle. It's the pressure. It's when you're tired and tested and you still show up. That's who you are. And if you want to build character, discipline, and purpose, you have to go through discomfort, not around it. Seneca said, it's not that we're given a short life, but we make it short by wasting it. And wasting time avoiding discomfort is one of the biggest ways that we waste our lives. And the Stoics trained for adversity. They did voluntary hardship, cold baths, sleeping on the floor, eating bland food. Not because they were masochists, but because they wanted to be ready for when life got hard. And it will get hard. Life doesn't ask if you're ready, but if you've already been putting yourself through difficulty by choice, when life throws you a curveball, you're not rocked, you're ready. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And your systems are built on your habits, and your habits are shaped by what you're willing to do even when it's uncomfortable. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one thing this week that scares you, one thing that's uncomfortable, and do it. Not because it'll be fun, but because it'll grow you. That's the whole game. That's the whole secret. The people you admire, the ones who seem to have it figured out, they do hard things repeatedly. And the reason they seem confident, composed, and successful, it's because they've trained for it. So train for it. Be the person who runs towards discomfort instead of away from it. Thank you for listening to the Big Lab podcast today. If this episode's hit home for you, I'd love it if you shared it with someone who needs to hear it. Post a screenshot, tag me on Instagram, leave a review. It helps more than you know. And most importantly, do the hard thing today, right now. Don't wait for the perfect timing, because the life you want, it's on the other side of discomfort. I'll see you next time.